Good morning, YouTube. This is Adam, and I'm having Sunday morning coffee. How you folks doing today? Gosh, we've had a heck of a week here in Iowa. You've had one of those weeks that everything just kind of turns shit in your hands. A little brief run around the shop. What was that, Thursday? Kind of showed you a little what was going on. Oh my goodness. We're right at that time of the year where if you don't have perfect control over your spray environment, it'll lay out perfect, it'll lay out perfect, it'll lay out perfect. You walk away and come back to it, it's falling off the fucking car. I actually had a little bit of that on a project I was working on yesterday. Not so bad. I kind of did wrong by some of the hard, fast rules of this is how you do shit. I'm pretty sure I introduced a contaminant to that panel, so to be expected. I laid it on so I can sand it down today and repaint it proper. Just a little panel. I mean, literally, 4 inches tall by like 20 inches long. So I'm not worried about that. I talked a little bit about the superstitious ideas I had on that $20 or $2 bill, that cursed bill. It was given to me basically as a gift from a good friend with all good intentions, but it seemed to carry with it I don't know. I'm not a superstitious fellow. It seems like things are turning around though. More than likely just that symbolic gesture of I've got to change shit, but I'll still hold on to that minor superstition. What the hell, whatever throws your hair back, whatever lets you sleep at night. The older I get, the more simple I get, to be honest. I wanted to kind of talk about, I'm new to this YouTube thing. I've got, this will be video 70 up. 160 some viewers, subscribers. I'm not breaking any records by any means, and that's cool. I'm thankful for every viewer, every subscriber, every comment out there. A few of you have even taken the phone number off of my shop segments and given me a phone call. That's pretty damn cool. One thing I wasn't really anticipating or expecting, just out in general public getting recognized. It's only happened once, and I'm sure it'll happen again just because of, it's a sheer numbers game at this point. But my kids and I went up to the Quick Trip. We walked up to the Quick Trip, which is a local convenience store. What is it? Out east is your Wawa. Out west you've got Loaf and Jug, those type of gas station, get your soda type of places. And it was flattering. It was very flattering. I was very off-put, not in a bad way. It seemed to make some of my efforts worthwhile. It was like recharging the batteries a little bit. A fellow named Kevin just stopped at the door. I'd opened the door for him so he could go in. My little one, I think she would have run into the door. She was just kind of hell, she's 5. And so I swung the door open so he could walk in, just being polite. I still hold doors for people. I still tell people thank you when they hold the door for me. And all in all, like I said, it was very flattering. It was very pleasant for me to come across that. And I wanted to holler out to Kevin, say thank you very much for the views. My girl had to take off for work. She has to work 9 to 3 today. So I wanted to say goodbye to her before she left. Never be too busy for a significant other in your life. I was like that once. You know, and Mr. Street Rodder. Gosh, it was Thursday when I was finally getting a bunch of shit wrapped up and frustrations ramped and everything else. Kenny called me up and we chatted. I bet we chatted near an hour. That was pretty cool. Kenny, thank you for that. Like I said, I always dig hearing from everybody out there. You know, here lately I've been putting a lot of stress on my little geographic domain I am in, and my video presence I maintain out there with YouTube and the shop page on Facebook and everything. And the old word is inner girth. It's basically the parts of the world you touch, you know. And the concept is, you know, peace and just peace, understanding, just total lack of drama, hatefulness, that type of thing. And that's what I've been working towards. That it's something you work towards your whole life. Situations are always getting complicated and cavorted. Frith is the big word. It's a communal thought process. You know, when you get several people together to maintain frith, and I strive to maintain frith. It lessens the strife and headaches overall. Around here, maintaining frith over the last week or so has been difficult. You know, old world words, old world habits that I think in a lot of cases need to be re-inspected under a modern lens. We've got so many things that divide us. Race, gender, and I hate the word race. I mean, we're all human race. So I guess point of geographic origin. There you go. I think that's what I prefer. Your tribal roots. Everybody wants to get in a battle over tribal roots. Well, my tribal roots are wonderful and beautiful and amazing and terrible in some places. If I were from, let's say, if my ancestry was from Africa, I'd say the same thing. If it were from the Aboriginals of Brazil, I'd say the same thing. And I think everybody needs to hold that thought in mind. You know, the human brain's interesting. Through, you know, through the years and through reading and studying and learning, the human brain comes up against a wall of that's different. Someone older than you, someone a different ethnicity than you, someone a different religion than you, and for some reason the mechanism in the human mind instinctually goes to, if it's different, it's wrong. And I think that's something that we could all do to have that cognizant effort to combat. You know, I don't know. It's been a really weird week for me. It's been very, the trials as of late, the last 5 months have been really, really tough. And not just for me. I mean, overall, I'm seeing a lot of people, a lot of strife, a lot of hardship. You know, the last 5 months has been rough. Mine's been rough. You know, you get in a winter slump and everything falls behind. I'm months behind on certain aspects of builds, of creature comforts and everything else. So, you know, my responsibilities to my customers first and foremost. I'm behind. It's unacceptable. So I worked last weekend through with my kids running around. I didn't work the whole weekend, but I worked a good portion of it. This weekend I've worked all the way through. The weather's been chilly and humid, so even getting mud to dry could take up to an hour a pass, which makes a quick 2-hour job, you know, an all-day affair. So that kind of stinks. But we're getting there. think the biggest thing is just perseverance, pushing through. And just that maintaining the frith. You don't have to take someone's shit. I'm not saying turn the other cheek or anything like that. That's not my theory, my vein. Modern philosopher Henry Rollins, he made a statement once. It's not about that. It's not about the conflict or the arguing. I mean, if somebody wants to hand you a big pile of shit, you don't have to take it, but you don't have to start a war over it either. Just fuck you and walk on. And I've dug my heels in on some subjects this week with folks that was, for the most part, unnecessary. All it did was cause me to ulcer up. One other thing, I got to thinking about it, and like I said, I had issues with basically when it's dry out, when the atmosphere's stable, I know my space well enough, I can take certain shortcuts with painting. In the spring wet season and the fall wet season, I always have a few days of issues, especially on small quick projects, because I'm trying to take shortcuts. SOPs, standard operating procedures. Jeremy we had a hell of a week, like I said. One car we had to go back and redo, and then it lifted, so we redid it again. When we redid it again, we went through the actual SOPs for the shop. I've been slighting them, trying to save that time. It takes a half hour, 45 minutes to wrap up a car correctly. It's going to become part of our almost a ritual, I guess. I was curious, do any of you folks have strange ritual you go through or process you go through? My big one is when I'm painting, when I've got to paint more than just a fender, let's say, when I'm going to be behind a gun for an hour or more. I have a tendency, if I'm going to be behind the gun for a while, I actually throw on, I'm an old punk rock kid. The Clash, Social D, but I listen to everything. I got a picture of Peggy Lee tattooed on my arm, so old jazz, hell yeah. But when I paint, when I bust out the guns and I'm painting anything substantial, I have a tendency to throw on some old reggae. Bob Marley, Danny Livingston is another favorite of mine. If you never heard Danny Livingston, you should do yourself that favor. Go check that out. If you like the reggae, ska type. But, that was my curiosity to you folks. Do you have any weird, you gotta wear a certain hat, something that borders on superstition. I listen to old reggae when I paint because it chills me the fuck out, and I just kind of go at it. I don't smoke. I don't even really drink anymore. I mean, cigarettes, obviously, I smoke cigarettes, but I don't partake of party chemicals. I just don't. First of all, it's an inconvenience for me in my life. It's illegal. Why do I want to look over my shoulder? Second of all, it just doesn't suit my fancy. I'm not interested. It's not like I'm saying you're bad. I don't pass judgment on people. I don't give a shit. Do what throws your hair back. My rights end where they infringe upon someone else's free will and free being, just as your rights end when they begin to lean on me. Past that, man, I might see everything, but I don't know nothing. And that's how I've lived my life, and it's done well so far. Really, that's all I got for Sunday morning coffee. It's been a heck of a week. We've got a heck of a week in front of us. I've got footage on 3 different projects, I think, that's just kind of sitting there in the bank, so I got to sort out. The last couple weeks we're doing 3 things a day, so I actually have to sort out some stuff. I think I have a wheel bearing video for a 4x4 shot. I don't even know if it's complete. I'll put up what I can find. And apparently I think I need to get a microphone so I can do all my narratives. But I'm working on video formatting, so let's see what I can come up with. You folks have a great day. Get off your asses, go out there, do something great. What else can you say?